So people flew in that plane to observe the effects of nuclear bomb testing during the Cold War. Well, that's never a good sign. Pro tip, if you want to go running in the Derbyshire Hills and have the entire place to yourself, first of all pick a day when the weather is absolutely miserable, and secondly pick a day when there's been some landslides and they've had to close the roads. We're going to go for a run and try and find the wreckage of a World War II bomber. Well, as you can see there, this is Hope Woodlands Moor leading up to Bleaklow Hill Mountain. In that direction, this is in the Peak District. This is part of the Pennine Way. I'd heard about the crashed bomber up here and thought that'd be a good place for for a run up here. I hate having my hood up when I'm running. It like messes with my my ear and brain system. Some point in about a mile and a half, I'm gonna have to head out across the open moorland. One of the things I'm trying to do with all the videos in this channel is answer a question that you might submit in the comments. And the question today I'm going to answer is, what's my running story? Why did I get into running? I'm going to give you the simple version. And the simple version is that it was a way of basically being healthier. That's how it started. Now the better question is, how did I get into trail running? Or what made me switch to trail running? Because trail running is, of course, the most superior type of running you can do. And anyone who believes otherwise is wrong. But I guess for me, it's a couple of things with trail running. One was, I kind of started doing it because while I liked hiking, I just didn't have enough time to go on long hikes. Again, today's a good example. I'm working on a script for a bigger video that I'm going to be shooting tomorrow. A lot of work involved. And I didn't have time today to go out and do a long hike. Whereas I can go out and run for 90 minutes, no problem, that's fine, but go out and hike for 3-4 hours just would have ate into my day too much. But to be honest, more than that, it's because trail running makes me happy, because I mean it is the ultimate, I think it's one of the ultimate happiness hacks, because like we know scientifically being outside makes you happy. That is a fact. That's not an opinion, that is a provable, observable, testable fact. It makes you happy. Running also makes you happy, observable, testable, provable. You combine them, and that's trail running. And I'm running somewhere I've never been before, which, by the way, some of you have never been before. Novelty, dopamine, lifted mood. So there's your trifecta of reasons why trail running is so good for your mood. Running makes you happy, being outdoors makes you happy, and going new places, it makes you happy as well. Especially if you're someone like me who is very easily stimulated and distracted by novelty things. Ooh, look at this. We're down in kind of a trench. Alright, it's time for an entirely gratuitous running away from the camera shot. Yep. Ooh. Well, this is handy. I wonder which way I should go. I'm guessing this way. Oh, I love running through puddles! Love it! That down there is Hearn Clough. Hi, Hearn Clough! I kind of expected I might have bumped into at least one person up here. Well, I haven't met a soul. I feel like this is the perfect place to shout anything and no one's going to hear you. I have an itchy bum! I'm supposed to be on that trail. I'm on this trail. I've gone entirely the wrong way. Ah! Hi, Christ! Oh, here's the trail. This route is part of the brutal spine race that happens every year. Okay, off we go. Off the official route now. There's no trails actually out in this direction that I can tell, at least no official ones, so I'm trying to follow what looks like an existing one. This will bring me, yep, up onto the top of the open moor here. I'm trying to head to a place called the Hearn Stones. I'm going to go there first, find out what they are, and then try and find the wreckage of this aircraft. Stay off the moors! Oh! Look at this nonsense. I've learned when you're in terrain like this to be always very suspicious of anything that's bright green. Not always, but a lot of the time. These kind of sphagnum mosses are, yeah, they almost always hide water underneath. I've occasionally stepped in a patch like that and disappeared up to my knee. I think these are the Hearn stones! Now I can't be entirely certain, but I'm 100% sure that I'm not wrong. I think these are called the Hearn stones because the shape of them it's a little bit like a hernia. Oh yeah, I'm definitely right because... Oh, that's a really bad idea. Let's do it. Oh. Okay, they're called the Hearn stones because crawling through there will definitely give you a hernia. Oh, there's a puddle here. Oh, I've conquered the Hearn stones. Right. I would not like to get lost up here. Don't come up here in these kind of conditions unless you're stupidly confident. I've run in conditions like this quite a lot before. I've got offline maps, I've got battery backups for my offline maps, and worst case scenario, I've got emergency satellite beacon. Otherwise, there is no way I'd be coming up here on my own in these kinds of conditions because it's a recipe for getting lost. I've also got waterproof over trousers, I've got emergency food with me, I've got a light, so yeah, I am not unprepared. I think I'm going that way. Let's find out. I've been immediately betrayed. See if it goes down here and up the other side. Oh, that's buggy. How can I get up here? Let's do the old boggeroony swingy diddle. Oh, there's an even deeper one here. Look how deep. Whoa. Ooh. Swingy dinner boggeroodle. If you're out walking in these kinds of conditions, one tip to try and avoid continuing to walk in a straight line is try and find something you can spot in the distance sticking up like that. See those reeds? They make kind of a dark shape, so I can kind of pinpoint on those, because once you jump down in the bank and come up, it's so easy to change direction. So I'm looking as far ahead as I can, finding something, and then walking to it. And that way I'm more likely to maintain a straight line. Of course, that can become tricky when everything looks exactly the same. Okay, as I was just saying, I've been walking this way, but I really should have been walking that way. That's how easy it is to end up going the wrong direction down here. I became suspicious when I realised I was descending. I was pretty sure I wasn't supposed to be descending. Ooh, I found something. That is definitely a piece of fuselage. You can see where the rivets were holding it together. We're getting close. Oh, here's more pieces. There's a bit that's still got rivets in it. Wow. That crashed here in 1945. Look at those. Seen bits of wood from the interior. That's crazy. I think it's aluminium. It feels like aluminium. I see something else. Oh, this is it. This is definitely it. Oh wow. See, I did not think there would be as much of it up here. It wasn't during World War II. It was November 1948. So World War II was over. It was an American super fortress, which is flying between bases. Crashed up here. This looks like some kind of, I don't know, fuel connector or something. There are pieces of it absolutely everywhere. Almost look embedded in the ground. Almost looks like it came in and hit along here, and then the pieces all got ejected up in that direction. Apparently it was a reconnaissance aircraft. And all 11 of the crew and 2 passengers died. So it's kind of creepy in a way. It's like walking through 13 people died up here. There's a puppy. Whoa, look at that. That is a piece. That is molten aluminium. Just goes to show you how hot the fire was up here. Whoa. Scrapyard of death. The rubber is still here from the tire. Must have survived the fire. Engine over there. Don't know what that is. Is that? That's not. Is that the bit that? Oh, is that the bit that would have held the propeller? I think it is. I think that's the propeller hub. Like, you can see that's been cut. Someone has sliced that off. So I think, I could be wrong, but that looks like. Imagine that. Imagine the rest of the propeller coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's what that is. Here's a radiator grill. Here lies the wreckage of a B-29 Super Fortress, overexposed, of the 16th Photographic Reconnaissance Squad, USAF, United States Air Force, which tragically crashed while ascending through cloud on the 3rd of November 1948, killing all 13 crew members. The aircraft was in a routine flight from RAF Scrampton to American AFB Burtonwood. It's doubtful the crew ever saw the ground. Memorial laid by 367th Air Navigation course of RAF Finley on the 12th of November 1988. They never saw the ground, and you can kind of see why. This is probably the conditions they crashed in. You're not going to get much less visibility than we have today. My visibility until a complete whiteout is probably about 50 meters. So they're in an airplane flying at, I don't know what speed these things fly at, say 100 miles an hour, 150 miles an hour. They would have closed that 50 meters in seconds. They would have had very, very little warning. Wow. So it didn't have anything to do with World War II, but I looked up there and actually this plane was connected to, in some ways, scarier events. That was a reconnaissance plane that flew over Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands, which is a place where the United States carried out nuclear testing. So people flew in that plane to observe the effects of nuclear bomb testing during the Cold War. It's a long, long way from the warmth of the South Pacific. Now, I gotta figure out how to get back down. Whoa. So after saying I was gonna go back the way I came, I've come down a completely different route. This way. I think it's this way. Oh. Hi, sheep! Excuse me, do you sheep know the way back to the Pennine Way? Come back, you woolly-headed ninny muggins. Stephen was never heard from again. Right, he's gonna make a direct right angle beeline for where I know the Pennine Way is. We're gonna hit it. Stella! Why is there always Stella everywhere? Oh, ah! The path! Okay, it turns out the Stella carton was pointing the way to the trail. And always, the last bit of the run is for me, so I'm gonna finish up here. This is one of those videos that I just wouldn't put on my main channel anymore, because if I was gonna make a video about this location, I'd want to actually research it more. I would have the names of everybody who was in the plane. I'd have a lot more of the history of the plane and all that kind of stuff, and I would have brought different cameras up here and put a lot more effort into shooting it. But it's the kind of video I can make, I can put in this channel, and if I ever feel like I want to, I can always come back now that this has been a recce. I used to actually do this all the time for a lot of my more higher production value videos over in the main channel. I would recce them on foot. I would trail run. That's another, like I said, another reason I like trail running. It lets me go and recce places that I might go back at a later date to make a video in. But I never really videoed those recce's or kept them or anything like that. And now I've got a reason to. So thank you very much for all of you getting me out the door and getting me running, and for coming along on this little slightly spooky run with me. And if you enjoyed this video, I've got a second. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Why is my voice getting higher and higher? I'm out in the Pennine Way. I'm out in the Pennine Way, and I've just been running through the moors. Stay off the moors, they said. Don't go out there. There's something wicked and scary out there. But I didn't listen. And I went out and ran around and saw some scary things. And now I'm heading back to my car. So thank you for watching. And I'll catch you in the next video. And don't forget to ask me a question in the comments that I will answer next time. By the way, that was actually my voice. That wasn't a filter. I'm not sure it should be natural for a grown man of my age to be able to talk with such a squeaky voice, but here we are. Right. This bit's for me. Bye bye.